Hello, my name is Rajo Laurel. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm very happy to share my story. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Ted. I now look like the organizer. And that's oneness. And the feedback, can you hear me with the feedback? Okay. Now, I was always wondering, when I'm talking to young students, to young people, what to say. Because I'd be the person, actually, to be quite honest, to be back there sleeping behind all of you and not listening. And in my mind, I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to talk to these wonderful people, and then I wouldn't know what to say. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to make kwento na lang my story. And this is my story, and it's like a designer story, okay? So, that's me in my office, in my happy space. And I want to tell you how I got there to my happy space. Is it working? It's not working. Oh, okay. It started here. Unfortunately, it's blurry, but that's me in the circle. And I'm going to connect that because that's a production of The King and I. Oh, may connection, ha? I. And I start... Kasi hirap na hirap ako, hindi ko alam, paano ko connect yung I? So I started loving fashion in The King and I. And I was a young actor in the Repertory Philippines production of The King and I. This particular cast was spectacular because this was also the start of the illustrious careers of many talented theater individuals such as Lea Salonga, Menchu Lauchenko Yulo, Raymond Lauchenko. And if you're old enough like me, you'll know who the Wea twins are. But you don't, so kasi walang laughter. Okay. I started making clothes from Barbie dolls. And I'll explain to you how that happened. My sisters had Barbie dolls, and I loved them so much. I really did. I mean, I really wanted a Barbie doll so badly. But of course, hindi mo ako bibilhan ng nanay at tatay ko ng Barbie doll. Kaya ang ginawa ko, what I did was I actually went, and this is where I started my entrepreneurial spirit, I believe. I actually, in the village where I lived, maraming kutings, maliliit na kutings. And then, what I would do, I would collect them, bathe them, put a pink ribbon, and sell them to my classmates in school. And eventually, I remember selling them at 20 pesos. Mabango pa na, pinapowderan ko pa sila, may box pa sila. And then I eventually was able to gather enough money to buy my very first Barbie dolls. In fact, those are the dresses I made for the Barbie dolls for an exhibition. However, this being the case, yung pera na naipon ko for that, the money that I was able to save for the Barbie dolls was not enough. The only thing that was on sale was Christy, the black Barbie. But I loved her because she was different and she was beautiful, and I felt that I could work with her, and these were my very first muses. What I'm going to be sharing you today is really a story of serendipity. What that means is that, okay, I'm going to just start there. I love sketching, and these are my sketches from my early years. I always have a notebook in my bag or wherever I go. But the story of serendipity is this. I've always wanted to become a designer from the very onset. I had no idea what to do but that. And I'm very lucky that my parents tried to understand that that is what I needed to do. However, I had a big problem, my father. My father didn't realize that parang sinabi, gusto mo maging mananahe? Hindi niya maintindihan yun eh. Designer for him was like something that's not bankable. So, when I applied to New York to study, sabi ko na lang, I'm taking industrial design. Tapos nung tinanong niya ako, ano yun? What's that? Sabi ko, parang engineering. Pero, so pumayag siya. Pero pagdating ko, the minute I stepped to New York, syempre, I switched courses right away. And I started my fashion design course. But, hindi naman tanga yung tatay ko. So, pinauwi niya ako agad. He actually, I didn't finish, actually, to correct you, I did not finish in the Fashion Institute for Technology because after 2 years, my father realized, you're not taking engineering, you're taking fashion design. So I went home and I felt really, really bad because I was all of a sudden from New York City, I'm now in Taft Avenue. I studied in LaSalle because that's where he chose me to go. But however, there was light at the end of the tunnel, primarily because in LaSalle was very close to Malate. One day, my mother picked me up and she said, daan muna tayo, magpapagawa ako ng damit dito sa Malate. Biglang my eyes started to become wide. Saan po? Saan kayo magpapagawa ng damit? Ang lapit-lapit lang nun. Literally, you can actually walk from the designer's area from where I was studying. And from there, I became a designer's assistant. His name was Louis Mamengo. And it was serendipitous because I would spend all my breaks in this particular designer studio. So eventually, I sped through my college degree and also sped through my fashion degree. So in many ways, my education was both theoretical and practical. And I was able to establish that. And there. But the value of education is very, very important. I remember vividly because nalaman ko talaga every single facet of design. From going to Divisoria, to taking a jeep, and to sort of like making sure that all the clients are happy. It's very important that you sort of like fuel your passion, because that's one thing that I can share with you guys, because you have to have passion. On the way here, I was trying to tell myself, what can I be able to share with all of you? Why am I successful? I'm going to speed through the creative process. And this is where I live. I'm actually going to try to compel my 20 years in like less than 10 minutes, so pardon me. So this is my travels, and I love to travel because this is a way to experience brand new experiences. So there, I love that. Why is travel important? As a creative person, it's important to create new experiences. It doesn't really have to be as far as Patagonia. You can go anywhere and experience new things. And for that, for me, once you experience new things, you become more inquisitive. And then for me, I brought some sketches down. Okay, this is a lovely story. Mahilig na ako bata pa lang ako, mahilig na ako sa mga gagamba. I really love spiders. And the story here is the evolution between the spider to the illustration and to the model. Now, it's very important that you have to have a muse if you're a male designer, because God knows I tried my dresses, it didn't look like that. So it's important to be realistic in terms of how you feel about that. And my company, I'm very, very lucky because right now, I'm able to sort of like apply my design sensibilities to anything. May nagtatanong nga sa akin, you mean to say you can design clothes and then you can design hamburgers and you can design cakes, and all of a sudden, I'm also going to be designing socks? Parang, how can you apply that? The simple fact is you can apply anything when you're creative to any particular object, just as long as it has integrity and it has soul. What I mean by that is it's very important because people know when it's bullshit. Okay, and it's true. When you try to sell something that's not from the heart and something that's not real, then it will not be successful. So when I design, let's say, it's so funny because I've designed beds, I've designed hamburgers, I've designed perfume, I have notebooks now in National Bookstore. Please buy them for Christmas. And abangan nyo rin, malapit na ako magkaroon ng bibingka. But the truth of the matter is this. Design is really about sharing. It's really about trying to sort of like articulate this particular experience and make it tangible. And how to do that is really very simple. You have to sort of like start from yourself and start from the heart. I'm very proud of the companies that I have. I started with one seamstress. I started my business with 20,000 pesos. Right now, I have 580 employees, and all of which I'm very, very proud of because I'm responsible for them. But the question now is how to change from a designer to a brand. And that is something that I'm going to be sharing with you. Okay, these are the different kinds of brands that I have. We have House of Laurel, we have Rajito, we have 9 Months, and we have also Rajo Man. Oh, we just opened our first small store in Rockwell, so please come and visit us. There you go. And that's the collection over there. Now, how to be able to sort of like sell yourself is one of the sort of like secrets that basically I can probably share with you. It's again a matter of luck, a matter of timing, and a matter of desire. Okay? Of course, you have to plan it. A lot of people think that nothing is easy, in other words. I've been at this game for 20 years and I still love it to this very day. It is the reason why I wake up in the morning. It is the reason why I cannot sort of like sleep at night. It is everything to me. And I encourage all of you to find your passions. And I encourage each and every one of you to truly find the thing that you actually love. Because it is that will propel you to greatness. I said something when I was in TV in Project Runway. We had an amazing 3-season run in Project Runway Philippines. And safe is the enemy of greatness. And I believe that within each and every one of us, there is that particular power to be great. And that's why I love Instagram, and that's why I love talking to young people, because I'm sure that one of you is sort of like searching for meaning and searching for what do I want to do when I leave this great hall of this educational facility. Essentially, what's important is really, number one, just love what you do. Find that love, find that joy, because that is what's going to sort of like make you all soar and surprise yourself. And always, don't be afraid to fail. I mean, a lot of times when I was starting in this design community, naisip ako, paano ba ako makikilala? I joined every single design competition available to me because that was my way of sort of like getting my name across. During that time, marami pa sing design competitions. I didn't win all of them, but I did win some. But at the end of the day, it's that trial and error that sort of like propels me to move forward, because I was never afraid to make a mistake. Because I believe that the more mistakes you do, the better you will be eventually. Kasi hindi ka naman palaging pwedeng maging tama. And I think that that's what I can share to all of you. Now, where am I now? Oh, these are different collections from the past and different magazine covers that I've done. And of course, I started with my brides. And it's very important to sort of like ground yourself with that. I think what I love about my job is that it is probably one of the best jobs in the world because we only deal with happy occasions. My father originally wanted me to become a lawyer, but I'm so happy that I'm not a lawyer now because I only work with people who are constantly happy. Diba? Hindi ka naman pupunta sa lawyer. Pupunta ka lang sa lawyer pag galit ka, diba? Sa akin, pupunta sa amin, masaya dahil magpapakasal, magbe-birthday, magde-debut, and whatnot. And I'm really glad that I chose this path. And I think if I was a lawyer, I'd probably be the worst lawyer in the world. And these are some of the collaborations I've done. I've done shoes. And this is wonderful because this celebrated my 20th year in the industry. And I still love what I do. And I encourage each and every one of you to find that passion, find that life force, find that thing that sort of like will just make you happy and soar. And break the rules. I encourage all of you to break the rules and stand up to I stood up to my dad, but at the same time, I'm grateful to my father. I'm grateful that he forced me to do something that I didn't want, because I actually wanted to sort of like stop my education and become a designer, but he was like, no, finish your business degree. And because of this, I think I'm able to sort of like really push myself forward, because I do have a business education, and I also had my art training. So combining the two forces made me become not only a better designer, but also made me a better businessman. And sometimes, more often than not, you actually do things that you don't like, but I think you should do it. And I think at the end of the day, you should listen to your parents. In the beginning, I really sort of like told my father, oh my God, I actually hate you. But now that I'm older, now that I have become a little bit wiser, but still foolish, I'm grateful to that particular experience. And with that, I want to say thank you. My journey continues. And congratulations to each and everyone here in the room. And thank you for listening to me. Have a wonderful day.